Hi guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my July TBR, which will also feature all of the books I'm going to be reading for Summerween. Alright guys, before we get into the video, I just want to talk about formatting. So the beginning of this video is just going to be my regular July TBR, and then at the end I will have the Summerween prompts and everything about Summerween. So Summerween was created by OliviaReadsALatte and GabbyReads. It goes from July 2nd to July 8th, and it's where you get to read just a bunch of very spooky books. And I'm so excited. I will have their announcement linked down below. I can't wait to do it. So with that being said, if you're new to my channel, I post new videos on Thursday and Sunday. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post new bookish content. And with that being said, let's get into my July TBR. All right, I also want to say that this is a very ambitious TBR, or July TBR, only because my work hours are reduced in July, so I feel like I should have plenty of time to read. Unfortunately, this first book was actually on my June TBR and I didn't get to it. And that is Witches Steeped in Gold by Ciannon Smart. And this is a Jamaican-inspired fairy tale about two rival witches. I think it is a debut novel. I actually read about 2 chapters into this and I was really enjoying it. I just ended up putting it down. So I'm very excited to read this. I think it'll be a good time, and this will be one of the first books I'll be reading in July. I'll be reading in July. All right, next up is a book that TikTok made me buy. So I refused to get a TikTok. Still don't have one, but I downloaded the app and it's like I've been sucked into a black hole where I just watch TikToks for way longer than I should, and I honestly need to delete it. But I ended up finding Book Talk, and so many books. But anyway, one of them was Zodiac Academy by Carolina Peckham, I believed, and it just sounded interesting. It might be horrible. I have no idea. I really don't know very much about this. The TikTok I saw was like relating it to Harry Potter, except it's a new adult version. So I know it's 2 twin girls that end up going to this magical school where it turns out they're fae, I believe, and they have elemental powers, I think, based on their zodiac sign. And I also heard it's like a bully romance. I don't know. It sounded really interesting. I'm very excited about it. I might do a full review on it just because I think that I saw like 5 or 6 TikToks just on this book, and I had never heard of it, so I'm very interested. Next up is a book that hasn't come out yet, and I'm kind of scared but also excited to read it, and that is Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahurin. So this is the same author, and it's the same series as Serpent and Dove and Blood and Honey. If you're familiar with my channel, I've talked at length that I loved Serpent and Dove, but I hated Blood and Honey. So I'm very interested to find out what happens with the 3rd installment. I think this might be the final installment, but I am not positive. But it pretty much just follows Lou and Reed and continues on with their adventure. A lot of stuff happened at the end of Blood and Honey, so I'm very interested to see how these characters are feeling and dealing with it. But yeah, it should be a good time. I hope we kind of get back to the roots of the original characters in this next book, but we'll see how it goes. But I am very nervous and excited to read Gods and Monsters when it is released, I believe at the end of July. And next up is another new adult, or at least I know it's smut-heavy book, but it is by Katee Robert, and I already said that I really enjoyed Neon Gods, so I want to check out a few more of her titles, and I discovered the Wicked Villains series. So I ordered one of them. I believe it's the Aladdin or Jafar one. I forget the name of it, to be honest with you. I'll put it on the screen. But I want to check it out. I don't know, I heard good things about it. It seems to be one of her better series, so I'm very excited to check that out. I will let you guys know what I think. I might do a reading vlog where I read 3 of the Wicked series, depending if I like this first one or not, so let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. But yeah, should be a good time. And next up is a book that was actually recommended to me from one of you guys. So thank you guys so much for recommending me books. I have found some amazing books because of the comments you guys leave, so keep doing it. I think every TBR I'm going to have at least one book that was a recommendation. And honestly, I think my favorite Monstress, which is now my favorite graphic novel series, was a recommendation from one of you guys. So thank you so much. But anyway, the next book I'll be reading is Seeds. I believe this is by M.M. Knight. I might be wrong. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I just did a video talking about Hades and Persephone retellings that I'll leave linked in the descriptions and in the cards. But yeah, I'm very excited to read it. I know it is smut heavy, but I am pumped. I think this is a series, so I think there's a few more after it, but I'm definitely excited to check that one out. All right, guys, so now we're going to jump into my Summerween TBR. I'm so excited to be doing this readathon. Like I said, this was originally created by OliviaReadsALatte and GabbyReads. They are both amazing big booktubers. Check them out. They're awesome. I love everything they read. I got a lot of my TBR list from their videos. And anyway, these are the prompts. The first one is bake or make a drink with a spooky read a book in the dark, read a paranormal book, read a horror book, and read a book with black or orange on the cover. So for these prompts, I got a decent amount of scary books. Hopefully I will be reading all of them. And let's get into the first one. All right, the first prompt is read a book in the dark. And for this, I picked Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams. This is the same author who wrote No Exit, which is my favorite thriller of all time. So I figured it can't go wrong. But this follows, I believe, Lena, and she is estranged from her twin sister who ends up jumping off a bridge and committing suicide. However, Lena does not believe that is what actually happens. So she takes her sister's car, drives to the bridge, and tries to figure out what happened. Was she murdered? Was something else at play? And it goes from there. I'm so excited to read this. I hope this book is as good as No Exit, just because I don't know, the bar set's so high. So I'm very excited to be checking this out, and it worked out perfect that I discovered this when I was trying to figure out my TBR for Summerween. So very excited. The next prompt is read a horror book, and I actually have two for this by the same author. So the first one is Survive the Night by Riley Sager, and I believe this is actually more of like a thriller, but also horror. It's his newest book, and I really enjoyed Home Before Dark, and I figured this would be perfect. And I believe this book comes out towards the end of June, so it probably should be out now. If I went to Barnes & Noble, I might be able to get it. So that is the one that I will be reading for the Summerween, but I also added this to my TBR just because I've had this book for a while. I've been meaning to read it, and that is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, and I believe this has a camp setting. It didn't exactly fit any of the prompts, but I also think it'd be a perfect read to add to the Summerween TBR, so I'm excited to be reading this in the next month. And the next two prompts I'm actually going to use the same book for. So it is read a paranormal book and read a book with Halloween colors, so black or orange. And for this, I'm going to be reading The Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. I know nothing about this. I looked up on Goodreads and it did come up as paranormal, although I'm not sure if that's accurate. I know it is a horror. I know it is very scary. It was all over the place in October, and I wanted to read it in October, but I didn't get around to it. I actually just purchased this on my book shopping blog that I'll leave linked down in the description. But I'm very excited to check this out, and also it has a black cover, so it meets the second prompt. So yeah, very excited, and those will be my Summerween books. All right, guys, that is it. Those are all the books I'll be reading in July, and I hope you guys join the Summerween Readathon. I think it's going to be a really good time. Like I said, I will be vlogging that, so you can look for that the week after the Readathon is over. And yeah, if you've read any books on my list, please let me know. If you have any recommendations for me, please let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.